from the News Channel 5 Network. This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks, a serial entrepreneur and your host for the show. Many prospective entrepreneurs aren't sure where to start. We'll start providing a tip on each show. Also, SCORE offers low-cost classes and no-charge counseling specifically to guide folks through thinking about starting and succeeding in business. The first step would be either attending our Start Your Business workshop or reaching out to SCORE for an initial appointment. Buying a franchise will be a good choice for many, though make sure to do your homework. We offer low-cost seminars most Saturdays, some evenings. Now we're starting to do some lunch and learns, and we typically have topics like start your business, write your business plan, develop your business model, as well as financial projections. Information on all these events is available at scorenashville.org. Click on the Workshops tab at the top of the page. So, your tip for this show: try to start your business while you still have a day job if possible. You will have many long days, though the stress will be much lower. Finally, you may consider membership in the National Federation of Independent Businesses. In the world of politics, you're either at the table or on the menu, and they are at the table on our behalf, and this is not a paid advertisement. Dale Lott, it's so good to have you back. And
yeah,
Dale, Dale is the founder and CEO of Aurisonics, a Nashville-based professional audio company. They make very high-quality ear monitors for professional musicians, and arguably the greatest earbuds in the world for music lovers. Dale recently sold Aurisonics to Fender, and Dale, before we start, you know, I remember when you were on here before, you had like one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns, so successful that Nikkei flew someone all the way from Japan to chat with you.
Right, that was it was pretty amazing to run a Kickstarter on a little earbud, and it was so successful. It just took off crazy.
Well, so you were a SCORE client.
Yes.
In your earlier days, tell us, you know, what did SCORE do for you, or how did it help?
You know, a friend of mine, Frank Jarman, introduced me to Lem Stevens, who's a SCORE member, and Lem really coached me along. It was amazing. The help that he gave me was he never gave me the answer. He just pointed me in the right direction, and which I really like, because I like to come up with the answers myself. But you know, he would ask questions that would invoke the correct answer. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Lem was just such a great inspiration and help to me. And
sounds like he would ask questions that would get you to think through some critical things.
That's exactly right. Instead of saying, "Oh, you know, you need to do this," he would ask the correct questions, and that's all he really needed to do. Lem's very smooth in that regards. Really enjoyed his help early on. He guided me in getting the company focused in a certain arena.
Right.
You know, don't try to do too much. But he didn't tell me to do that. He would look at the website and say, you know, you might want to pare that down a little bit, or what do you think about this? And you know, really helped me to focus the business into what it ultimately became. So.
Well, wow, why did you sell Aurisonics to Fender, and how did that whole process work?
Oh boy, you know, I had been approached by several people since I started the company 5 years ago in my basement, just me. You know, I won't mention names, but you know, several companies had come at me and people to, you know, invest or buy the company, and I always said, no, it just wasn't right, or you know, the company was so young it wasn't worth anything for me to sell it yet. I'd just be working for them, and I just didn't want to do that. But you know, I started Aurisonics as a a brand that really catered to the pro musician market. So when Fender came along, Fender's an iconic brand in the music industry with the Stratocaster and Telecaster guitars. Pretty much every musician in history has, had some dealings with Fender in some way or another, or played their guitars. And when they came to me, they were looking to get in the in-ear monitor, business, and really didn't have the internal, the people to do that, and just was looking for a company that had the in-house expertise and manufacturing capabilities and everything. And they just made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Yeah, like the Godfather.
Yeah, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. It was awesome. It has been awesome. Yeah.
So, well, what's the future hold for you?
Oh, wow. Well, I still work for Aurisonics is now just part of the Fender brand. All the new in-ear monitors will be branded as Fender, but powered by Aurisonics, because they wanted to keep some connection with Aurisonics, the original thing. But and I still run the company, or the section of Fender, the in-ear monitor section of Fender. Still have my same people. It's pretty amazing having the support of such a large, iconic, international, well-known company. Oh yeah, it's just been an amazing adventure so far. Right. Well, what's next? I'm going to use the things that I learned from SCORE and through Kickstarter and the business sides of things to help other people with to be successful as well.
Well, tell us about this fishing pole here.
Oh, you jumping straight to the fishing pole. Pat Stewart, lifelong friend of mine, came to me. He'd been coming to me for years. Hey man, I got this great idea. Can you help me with this? And I always say, that sucks. Yeah. I got to hurt his feelings a few times. And one day he shows up. He says, man, I got this fishing rod. It's going to change everything. And it was just the most ugliest thing you can imagine. Yeah. But he said, just use it and watch what happens. And you put the string ran through the handle, and your thumb like rests on top of the string. And then when you cast it, it's so balanced. Even the ugly, terrible prototype he had made, I immediately knew. It was like a lightning bolt hit. I just knew that he had just changed fishing as we know it.
Well, you can look at it and see how ergonomically balanced it is. And so you were sharing that it makes it so much easier to get the lure, the bait where you want it to, and then also, I think about the baby boomers, of which I'm one, and I don't have the greatest shoulders, so that will be good for me.
It's counterbalanced, so you really only have to just barely flick the rod, and the bait goes exactly where you want it. It's like magic. I couldn't believe it. I'm not a fisherman, but I started using it. He had a washer tied on the original prototype, and he said, hey, aim for that leaf over there. And I just few casts, and I was like hitting every leaf. He's like, check it out. I knew
that's awesome, because when you're fishing, I'm not a big fisherman, but here's what I'm good at. I'm good at missing where I'm trying to put the hook.
Yeah, usually it gets in the tree. I've seen this for years. You take the kids fishing, and all of a sudden you're like pulling the freaking string, and it's all tangled. It's just a mess. And this thing fixes all of that. It's just such an amazing thing. It makes fishing easy. It makes fishing simple.
Well, so I feel a Kickstarter campaign.
I knocked it out of the park on that Kickstarter campaign we did with Aurisonics, and Pat said, hey, can you help me with this? And I said, absolutely. You've done such a fantastic job. I've used all the things that I've learned with through the years in business and prototyping and everything else to help get him to this point with it. We're actually going to show this thing at the Nashville Boat and Fishing Expo, or Tennessee Boat and Fishing Expo this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That should be real interesting to see the thousands of people come through and see something completely new. I can't wait for people to see this. So, very excited.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.